All right, this is Sports for Real. Just want to come on a few minutes to recap the draft. Again, I don't know if I'm getting through live or not, uh, but if you part of this, hit the chat. Let me know that you're there, and let's wrap a taste on this NFL draft that took place last night in Detroit. Not surprisingly, the Bears chose Caleb Williams as the number one overall pick. But that was just the opening of the floodgates, as a lot of quarterbacks were taken last night in the first round. Immediately after Williams was taken, fellow Heisman Trophy winner Jaden Daniels went to the Commanders with the second pick. Then you had Drake May, who ended up in New England with the third pick. A lot of people kind of forgot about May, but May was the heavy favorite. Had he gone last year, he would have been a high draft pick. And you can see that kind of came true this year when the Patriots selected him number three. A couple other quarterbacks went. A couple of surprises, actually. The first one is McCarthy from Michigan, the national champion. He ended up going to the Vikings. The only problem I have with that, the Vikings kind of scrambling for a quarterback. I thought they would have probably wanted to go to the free agent market to try to get a veteran quarterback to replace Kirk Cousins. They may have done that, but they selected McCarthy. But there are a lot of question marks surrounding McCarthy. Yes, he's a winner and all of that, but can he translate his game over to the NFL? Michigan was a run heavy kind of team, and the timely passes that he have, kind of like play action passes, gives you more lanes to throw when you run the ball effectively. But if you can't run the football, and you're in a situation where you have a guy like McCarthy, can he drop back and make the passes necessary for you to win this game? I don't know. And it's going to be a wait and see kind of thing, because he might just be one of those quarterbacks that get thrust in there early in the NFL career. So to me, that was a surprise. But a lot of people think that he can play. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of the other JJ that used to play for Alabama. I think his name was McCarron. He was a winner too, but his game didn't really transfer over to the NFL. And I think this is the exact same kind of player. So it's a wait and see on that one. The other big quarterback surprise, the Atlanta Falcons selected Michael Penix. Penix, I think, is a great choice. However, you just signed Kirk Cousins to a big contract in free agency. You even facing down a tampering charge to deal with Cousins, and then you turn around and go and get another quarterback in the draft. So that's letting Cousins know right now. Look here, man. We know you've been a decent player, but you need to go to the next level, because we think this Penix guy can play. And I think if Penix gets time to throw, he's going to be very, very dangerous. But a lot of people looking at his history of injuries, and they don't think that he can come through. They don't think this was a good choice, so they're giving the Falcons a low mark for this. But I don't think Cousins is any more guaranteed than anybody else in the league. He's had his own share of injuries. Who's to say that he's going to make it through the season? But this guy Penix, being older, he's not the typical rookie quarterback. He's going to come in more ready to play than a lot of them. So if Cousins does get hurt like he's prone to do, don't be shocked if you see Penix step on the field and then do well. It's been a while since we've seen a quarterback like Roethlisberger did, that had the effect that he had, losing that one game as he took his team to the playoffs that year. C.J. Stroud had a hell of a year last year, and the way he talks, it was not a fluke. Well, I don't know about that, but let's see if he can follow it up. Plus, it might be a little harder this year with those ugly uniforms they came up with, and so it'd be interesting to see. But yeah, but those quarterbacks, they're headliners, and Caleb Williams. I told you last year we were talking about Lamar Jackson. If Jackson could throw on a run like this guy, then the Ravens would be unbeatable. But the Bears might be headed in that direction, because not only did they get Williams, they got Penix's number one target, Odunze. Odunze is a great pick. Jump up and get those balls. Is a great route runner. Overall, this is a great receiver, and I think that was a great pick. So when you add Odunze with Keenan Allen and DJ Moore, hey, the Bears, if you can run the football, they're going to be something to deal with. So keep an eye on that. But I normally, when I look at the draft, I don't follow it like a lot of people sitting there with the popcorn like it's a game. I'm not interested in that. I just follow it to see what's going on and see what these picks can do when you plug and play with the other players on the team that's currently set as it is. So that's the excitement with me. I mean, I'm not worried about the individual, let's watch this 3, 4 hours. I could never get into the NFL draft like that, or any other draft. But it's exciting to look at the list and see who went where and then talk about it, just like I'm doing now. The other news besides the draft, uh, Devin Haney finally spoke up after losing this fight to Ryan Garcia over the weekend. And he pretty much disappointing to me because he come out and say that the weight did make a difference. Well, the man was 3 pounds overweight. How much? I don't think that makes that much of a difference because you starve yourself or you sweat yourself out to get to that certain weight, but then as soon as the weigh in is over, then you start gaining weight anyway. So I don't see how much 3 pounds is going to make that much of a difference. But he said it did, and he is calling for a rematch. However, the big disappointment for me is Oscar De La Hoya, who I guess he manages Garcia, said that it's not going to be a rematch. I don't understand why, because they're saying that he's going to move up to try to fight bigger fighters, evidently because it's hard for him to make weight at the 140 mark. And if he does move up in weight, he's also considering doing cross fights with a guy from the UFC. Well, that would draw some interest. But when you think about De La Hoya saying it's not going to be a rematch, that make me think that maybe they plan to come into the Haney fight overweight all along. And now that you're saying that you don't want to have a rematch, something to think about. Boxing has always been sketchy, and the move by De La Hoya and Garcia is proving that. I think if you took you should have took the man's title had you made weight. But if you're able to beat a champion, I think the champion should have the opportunity for a get back if you beat them. And De La Hoya is not going to give it to him. So that is that's just another negative mark on boxing, and the reason why people start to turn away from it. They talk about the YouTubers, but the YouTubers injected some new blood into the sport. They're able to maintain some level of viability. But if they keep doing stuff like this, where the best fighters don't fight each other, eventually it's going to die. But they've been surviving this long by doing that. Some people are going to watch it no matter what. But if I can't see the best fighters, what the hell am I wasting my time for? So you can have that, man. I can go on the street and see some fights anytime in certain places. So sometimes they be more exciting than what you put in the ring anyway. So that's just my idea. But yeah, I just wanted to talk about the NFL first round last night and then the response from Devin Haney. He's saying all the right things except for the fact that he's saying that the weight made a difference, which I don't think it did. Sounds like an excuse to me. He just got whipped. And he just trying to have something to hang his hat on. And that's about as far as that goes. But anyway, I'll keep you posted. Got to get back to the real job. This has been Sports for Real.